Let's hurry up and get to this. We got so little to review and so a lot of time. Wait a minute. Scratch that. Reverse it. Welcome to the Cinefanatics. My name's Robert Adams.
I'm Chris Adams.
And we are here to review, spoiler-free, Wonka. Like, the spoilers on this, I mean, we know that, like, say Willy Wonka's gonna live through this movie because he's gotta go, like, create his factory and have all the kids, and he's gotta murder all the kids and whatnot and sing songs.
He says they'll be fine at the end of the movie.
Just little more worse for wear, or, like...
Yeah, the violet need to be juiced. It's okay.
So yes, this is going to be spoiler-free, so you don't have to worry about spoilers. Yeah. I thought this was a fun movie.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. This was, of course, you know, we're talking about, was it Paul King? Mm-hmm. Director of the first two Paddington movies. If you've seen those, you know they are a damn delight. Just an absolute treasure. And the same, he just knows what to do with these kinds of movies, these kinds of family adventure films, and this very much is along the same lines. It very much has the same tone, the same feeling as those Paddington movies, which
same actors,
some of the same actors, which does make it a damn delight as well. It is a lot of fun. It's just a great time. It's just a great wholesome time, I would say.
Yeah. What's funny about this is this fits in that world, both in how it was shot and looked, but just like narratively. I was waiting for Paddington to come walking like past the screen. That would have been kind of funny.
Weirdest cinematic universe ever.
Yeah. So for a little bit of a background, unlike Dune, which we just did a reaction to the trailer, this is a movie that was based off a book that I did read when I was younger. Yeah, when I was younger, I was big into like Roald Dahl, so I did read like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I think they had like the Great Glass. I forgot what it's called. The Great Glass Elevator. And then, of course, he also famous for doing James and the Giant Peach. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm a fan of, like, those books. And the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory starring Gene Wilder. Absolutely loved that movie. Grew up watching that, like, all the time. So, as demented as it is with that movie, as dark, especially that tunnel, yeah. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I kind of enjoyed it. I kind of enjoyed it. I like the idea that they gave like Wonka at least some kind of an origin story. It was a little too weird, a little too out there as far as Tim Burton goes, but I feel like that movie worked well in Tim Burton's world with his eye, his like gothic look to it. I think it worked fine. It's not the greatest though.
You're being way more generous to that film than I am.
This one I thought, this took me back to the more wondrous nature of the original movie and of the books. Yeah. So, yeah, I had fun with this. I think it was another, not really an origin for Willy Wonka, so to speak, but a nice take on Willy Wonka. I think Timothée Chalamet did a fantastic job, even though there's some things that, like, I don't know if he's actually acting or if he's just reciting lines. Like his, like, scratch that, reverse it that we saw in the trailer. I thought that was kind of a bit hokey sounding, and it was in the movie as well, but...
It very much feels his performance at times can feel a little dry, I think would be the term, but at the same time, this is a very different Timothée Chalamet than we usually see. Most of his roles in most of his movies are of a kind of a dark and brooding type nature. He's usually someone who's very troubled in some way, in some capacity. So it's nice to see him kind of do something, step out of that, and do something a little bit more lighthearted, a little more family-friendly, a little more floaty, so to speak. Literally, at times.
Yeah.
And I think this is where you start seeing actors taking chances with what they want to do with their careers and trying a bunch of different things and really finding niches that they actually could thrive in with a lot more experience in it. And I think whereas there are times, like I said, where he was kind of dry or maybe a little wooden here and there, he otherwise actually did a pretty good job. He captured a great personality for Willy Wonka in his earlier days and kind of the line of reasoning for why he wants to do what he's doing in terms of creating the chocolate factory later on and being this fantastic chocolatier. His line of reasoning, as told by the movie, is actually quite endearing and very lovely.
Yeah, and I think kind of like what you were saying is he did a good job with his character, not doing an imitation of Gene Wilder, or Johnny Depp, but yeah, like he made this character his own. And yeah, it was very zany and quirky, and like most of it, I think did play very well. Again, giving some lines, but
I would argue that it's very much not. It's not Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka, but there is a world where you could argue that there's a story between this one and the old Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, where there is a transitional period where you can see him become basically like the Gene Wilder Willy Wonka. Whether we get that story or not, I don't know. I think this movie could do well enough that it, as odd as it sounds, could generate a sequel that could tell a story, and I do believe that there could be a story in there, but it remains to be seen. It also could just exist as a one-off.
Yeah. The only other like really big one that I know I was wanting to talk about, of course, is going to be Hugh Grant as Lofty the Oompa Loompa.
Listen, if I was not sold on any other part of this movie, whenever he popped up in the trailers, I was like, yep, I want to see this movie immediately.
You mean you didn't like shudder and scream for dear life because of how weird it looked?
No, I love it.
Hugh Grant as an Oompa
goofy.
Loompa is just so out there.
I love it so much.
Like, every time he pops up in the movie, I'm like, am I supposed to like this? Like, it's a little too creepy at times because it is like the full like Hugh Grant head on a tiny little Oompa Loompa body, and it just feels so weird.
Listen, it's Hugh Grant doing what Hugh Grant does best, which is be Hugh Grant.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this Oompa Loompa character is. On top of that, he is a little sarcastic, a little witty, and...
Well, no, he's really witty and really sarcastic. Oh, you meant because he's little. Got it.
Yes. That was a dumb joke. I really actually enjoyed his character a whole lot. I had a feeling based on the trailer going into it I was going to enjoy it. I definitely enjoyed his character. I could actually probably watch an entire movie of that if it wouldn't cost $1.5 billion for the CG effects.
And I feel like I read a report that he really was not having fun filming that.
No, I don't think he was, and...
But
it was fun.
But the performance,
for us.
Yeah, the performance, while it is weird, slightly creepy, it was still fun overall. So, yeah, I think worth it if I was Hugh Grant. But I don't know. I'm not Hugh Grant. Otherwise, we'd have a lot more subscribers on this channel probably. Anyways, by the way, subscribe.
And you'd be trying to date Julia Roberts. The other side of this too is that
nothing wrong with that.
There is a whole cast of characters in this movie who have no presence in the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory movie. I'm not sure if any of them pop up in a book at any given point. But
so there's the three chocolatiers, the three rival chocolatiers. They are in the book.
Yeah.
The original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory only focuses on Slugworth, which, spoilers for that movie, we don't actually get Slugworth. It's like Willy Wonka's assistant. So we don't actually officially see Slugworth in those. And I believe there was mention of at least Slugworth in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the Tim Burton movie. So those three are a part of the book. I'm trying to remember if there was anyone else or anything else in there that I remember from the book. I don't think so.
Yeah, but regardless, the remaining cast of characters is a delight. I mean, you've got all sorts of people who've like coming around, different people that Willy Wonka meets along his journey in becoming a chocolatier, but also like some of the other big names who play kind of even more bit roles in the movie, being Keegan-Michael Key, and Rowan Atkinson has a bit part in this too.
I love Rowan Atkinson,
and they are both Keegan-Michael Key's character was hilarious.
I feel like that there's probably like gonna be like some Twitter discourse about that if there's not already, but
potentially. But like the way he portrayed his character, the comedy of his character, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that stuff was actually really, really funny.
Yeah, I like how he's moved away from like the kind of humor that they did on Comedy Central with Key and Peele.
Yeah,
he's moved and he's done like more respectable. Not saying that's not that comedy's not respectable, but he's done these kinds of movies where it's like, oh damn, he actually can do more than just goofy comedy.
Like sketch comedy. He can do more in sketch comedy.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying. He's breaking out of like the sketch comedy bubble, basically.
Yeah, and so yeah, I absolutely loved him in this. The other one that I really love, and I'm always happy to see her in anything, Olivia Colman.
Oh yeah,
easily one of my favorite parts of the Secret Invasion show as well. Just you put Olivia Colman in something, it's gonna be good.
not the only good part of that show.
But yeah, I really liked her character, as despicable as her character is. I think she did a very good job with it, especially because I'm used to seeing her play more proper leadership, like powerful figures, and in this, not really.
She proves that she is actually just a well-rounded talent.
Mm-hmm.
She just, whether it's comedy or drama, no matter what she's doing, you can tell that she just dives in fully, and it comes across just very well on screen. Like, she is somebody in this movie that you definitely absolutely do not like, but it's one of those you love to hate her type characters.
Yeah. The only other one by name that I recognize, of course, is Sally Hawkins, that plays Willy Wonka's mother. Mm-hmm. She doesn't have much of a role in this. She's mostly used like in flashbacks, and yeah, I actually like that pick. I think Sally Hawkins essentially being the mother of Timothée Chalamet works.
And Paddington.
And Paddington, yeah,
well,
that works
mother,
very
but,
well.
You know, adopted mother. So.
Otherwise, like all the friends that Willy Wonka meets over the course of this movie, his compadres, his cohorts, everyone, his accomplices, they're all fun characters. I love every single one of them. Yeah, especially the lead girl Noodle. I think she did an amazing job in this movie. Really good, powerful story with her character.
Yeah.
And just how her life is coming to fruition, so to speak, as we see Willy Wonka continue to build up his empire.
Yeah. Overall, there's a lot of like fun that this movie does. You wouldn't necessarily think it, but there is a lot of like CG involved in kind of the magic of who Willy Wonka is and what he's accomplishing. So you've got moments of that's actually like really well handled. I don't think there was really anything that I saw during this that kind of took me out of the movie or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the music.
Yeah, the music is like, there are definitely nods to music that you may be familiar with from the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
And I think they did a really good job of incorporating those songs into this movie. And then the additional songs that they made for this movie, I think fit very well. They were fun. A lot of humor in those songs as well. The visuals that they had to go along with the songs worked very well. So, yeah, especially that opening song.
Oh yeah. This whole movie I would strike as kind of like a pleasant surprise, basically, because I feel like when we first heard about this, even before we got a trailer, like maybe even when we first saw an image of Timothée Chalamet playing Willy Wonka, just the idea when it came out in the news, like Willy Wonka portrayed by Timothée Chalamet, we were like, what?
Okay.
All
and
right.
then we got that first image that it's like him behind the scenes, like just sitting there kind of like staring off camera,
we're like,
type of thing. And it looked like they were going to go more of a full-on serious route, that it wasn't going to be as silly or as magical or as wondrous as the Gene Wilder version. And nope, they still kept it all magic and wonder and everything. So
what's funny is like this movie has been in the works since pretty much the beginning of our channel here.
Well, at least it was one of the first topics that we talked about on the tagline.
Yeah.
When we first started the tagline, which we started that like March of 2020. So great time to be starting a new show.
Yeah, but this movie's been in the works for that long, and just kind of seeing its progress over the course of the trailers, the news about it, and then sitting down to actually watch it, it is very much not at all what I was expecting initially when that news first came out. But as we heard more and more, it started to sound more and more like a movie that I would definitely be interested in watching. And gosh, like I said, it was an absolute delight of a film.
Yeah. So very much enjoyed this movie. I don't think there's anything else to cover with it. I think we pretty much covered everything.
Find something negative. No. I don't want to.
There's like one like little bit part that I thought got like a little slow.
You can't make me.
But that's about it. Otherwise, yeah. So rating this out of 10, I would probably give this an 8. I very much enjoyed this.
I think I agree with that. It's a very solid 8. I think runtime, perfect pacing, everything. I know you said there's a part that was a little bit slow for you, but otherwise, like, I think it's right under 2 hours, so it is a perfect time frame for a solid family movie. I think it's definitely one that you should go and enjoy. Go check it out in the theaters. Don't wait for streaming. Don't wait for home video. If you have the means to go to the theater, please go to the theater. Check it out. It is an absolute ton of fun. Just kick back, turn off your brain. Well, I don't think you actually have to turn off your brain for this one, but you know what I mean. Just kind of relax and enjoy the fun of it.
Order some chocolates and have a good time at the theater.
I want chocolate right now.
Yeah, seriously, I do too. Just go get chocolate bars.
I haven't had dinner. I want chocolate.
Well, you're an adult. You can do that if you want. But otherwise, you as adults also, you can do the YouTube things. Let us know your thoughts, feelings, and opinions down below in the comments. While you're down there, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Make sure you follow us on social media. We are at The Cinefanatics on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can follow me at Robert Adams MLP on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. And also youtube.com/@RobertAdamsMLP.
And you can follow me at Chris Adams MLP on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd, as well as twitch.tv/ChrisAdamsMLP.
Yep. That's going to do it for this review, which has been, 51% inspiration and 49% perspiration? Because, man, these lights are hot. That's going to do it for this video, y'all. Y'all have a great evening, day, whatever. We'll see you on the next one.
Doop-a-dee-doo.
Doop-a-dee-doo.